Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, November 28th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com for all about my services and all about my upcoming events. And for those of you coming back and come back week by week, and for all of your positive feedback, thank you so much. I appreciate you all so very much, more than you can possibly know. Please excuse my voice this morning. It is a happy Thanksgiving weekend, so I have been talking at Thanksgiving celebrations, at a wedding the day after Thanksgiving, and so the voice is a little bit gone. But I am going to get through this podcast because I love the topic I'm going to be speaking of, and I put a dose of this topic into every week that I speak because it's so very important to talk about, because it really will help you, all of you, to live your ideal life. And that is very important. It's very important for you to be happy and to be healthy and to feel fulfilled. When I came to this earth, I knew at a very young age, before I even went into kindergarten, I knew that I was here to be a spiritual teacher. I wasn't sure what that entailed, what I would teach entirely, but I've always been drawn, had a strong desire to help people to feel closer to heaven, to feel closer to what I knew to be God. I always did my entire childhood, and at times during my adulthood, I would back away, as I think a lot of us can, but I would always miss that connection. There would be just a strong feeling of separation that I would have to go right back again. And I would strengthen my connection through prayer and through meditation. And that connection would be strengthened, and I would feel that fulfillment again. And over time, thanks to that strong connection, I've always known a certain amount of truths. I can't say that I am not still learning. I don't know that there's one person on earth that would say they know it all being all caps. But I've always had an intuitive knowing about what was spiritual truth. And I can remember hearing a channeling not that long ago, perhaps a couple decades ago, about the law of attraction. And I knew instinctively with every part of my being that what I was hearing was truth. And I've always spoken like that, even when I was very young, several decades ago. I would hear myself saying things like everything seems to always turn out roses for me. I knew that. I just knew it as a fact because it is true. We always come through the storms. It always works out for us in what is best for us, if we just hold to it with faith, belief, and trust. Every week, I receive a reinforcement of what I know and believe. And I want to share that reinforcement with you today. Today's topic is the secret that we now know. Now, back in 2007, about, small movie came out in a book And I knew it was the truth. And it was called The Secret. Now, it was based very lightly on natural law, on what is truth about energy and quantum physics. I call it more of a marketing movie. It was a start. It wasn't the entire steps or answer to what we now know. And it was part of a reinforcement of these times that we're in. Because the times that we're in, we are undergoing an awakening. And this awakening is giving us that knowing, that knowledge, that we create our lives. That free will isn't about what traditional religion teaches us, that we have the free will to obey or screw up and then suffer the consequences. We now know that we have a free will to actually bring to us what we are putting out, to actually deliberately create our futures. The day that you are living today is a day that you created in the past, and it is now showing itself in physical form. How you feel about it? I bet if you sit down and you think about it, there are many blessings that you have today that you wished for in the past. Isn't that right? At least in a small way. But perhaps you would also say that there are things you are still working on. I feel that we're all work in progress. We're all here perfecting our creative abilities. We're all working out the kinks, cleaning it up. Even the greatest spiritual teachers will tell you that things get presented to us to clean up. The little blocks that we still have, the attractions we naturally have because of our past, when many of us, probably all of us, were too young to realize our power of attraction and the beliefs that were given to us that we deliberately create with. In other words, many of the things that you now attract today, you probably started attracting when you were too young to even speak. And they were from the influence of your parents, your immediate family, your teachers, your friends, society. But now we are awakening and we are beginning to understand that individually we can create our ideal lives. Please pardon me for my lack of voice. As I said, I was at a wedding and we had to talk over the music, and I'm still regrouping my voice. So it's not as together as I'd like it to be. Today I'd like to reiterate in my words, my interpretations, this understanding that we have of that great power to create our lives. You see, really all the greatest teachers and a lot of the religions teach us the same thing. They just say it in their own way. So I love to go in and listen to different teachers, because sometimes I get an aha from one that I wasn't quite getting from another, that they're saying the same thing. I tend to be more of a plain talker because I need to have it explained simply to me. If you start getting too scientific with me, too much about quantum physics, I tend to get lost. One of the great spiritual teachers right now and author is Greg Braden. I will honestly tell you, I've tried to listen 3 times to one of his audio recordings, and it's not clicking yet. But another one clicked with a wonderful aha moment. So it's not him, it's my ability to be able to surmise and understand with his conversation what he's trying to teach us, what he's trying to teach me as a student and listener. I just get lost in numbers and terms. I'm just plain. So I hope today that I also speak plainly enough in the way that I understand that you also can understand, and I'll try my best. So here's what it's all about. Here's what we now know. Here's what the most wealthiest and successful among us know. That you live in your own reality, that you create it. And the way to create it is to do it this way. Here are the keys. Through your desire, you ask. So let's put it this way. There are many on this planet that would say they want to be wealthy, that they'd love to hit the lottery. When the jackpot rises to 800 billion or 800 million, when it's close to $1 billion, and yes, it can get to $1 billion. It can, and it probably will. Maybe it has and I missed it, but I know it's been close. And many will then play. They're like, why not? I'll share the money. See what they just did? I'll share the money. They automatically go into a lack mentality of, if I win, I promise to share. That's their background. That's the background of the meek inherit the earth. The wealthy aren't the greatest people. I promise to do good with it. I promise that I'm a good person. Of course you are. The key to wealth, the key to lottery winners, is that you feel wealth first. Ask yourself, why would I want to be wealthy? What does it give you? It's not about the money. Money is a physical symbol. It is a way to get you to what you truly want. Most would say that they want to be wealthy so that they have freedom, right? Whether it be freedom to travel, freedom to do what they love with work, freedom of time, freedom from stress. There's something else you're going for when you're asking for wealth. So the key to having wealth is to feel that emotion first. For me, it's freedom. As I feel it's probably for most of you. So the key to wealth is to feel the freedom of wealth first within yourself. So you ask through the desire, and then you believe that it's yours now. And you show that you believe that it's yours now through feeling it, through thinking it, and through talking as if it's yours. And when you do that on a consistent basis all day, every day, it arrives in the physical form. The representation of wealth, whether it be money or opportunity or actual freedom, comes last. The physical always shows up last. That's why you can't give up. Give up on looking for it. Give up on waiting for it. Because you see, if you believe you already have it, you're not looking for it. Feel it, think it, talk like it. The strongest among those three is the feeling. Feel freedom. Look at the pictures. Think about the vacation. Think about what you would do for your life purpose every day. And it can be so small. And it doesn't have to be about what earns you money. What would you do with the freedom of your time? So I've got something to tell you. Right now, we have in America a very low unemployment rate. I think our job area has been the best it's been in over 50 years. Yet, employers are saying they can't find people to hire. Guess what? We're in an awakening time. People have turned to doing what they love. They started businesses. That's why in September, the percentage of people quitting went up. They're leaving for better. They're not settling anymore. Is it every single person? No. But it's happening at a speed that's never happened before. Because we're in times where we understand that we create our lives and we want better. And so we're taking action to have better. And employers have to catch up. They have to understand the times they are changing. And I get they don't like it. And I agree that yesterday was Small Business Saturday here. And we should support our small businesses. Go to those mom and pop stores, to the small businesses. They are the ones that keep our economy together. They are the ones that are the dreamers and the people living their life purpose. It's so important to support each other. When we do that, because we're all in this together, we thrive. We thrive as a community, as a country, and as a world. There's this myth that a bunch of people are sitting at home, sitting on a couch, collecting funds. They're lazy. That's programming. That's false programming. Every status of income has a person that perhaps doesn't want to work. Sure. It bothers me inside that it's assumed that it's a certain level of income, or that it's happening on a wide scale. It's programming. People are understanding now that life is short and it is time to follow what they love. And so they're coming up with the plans. They're following where their heart and soul leads them. And so it means that as a world, we have to adjust. We're going through a time of change. today. If you are one who worries about paying your bills, if you want financial freedom, ask yourself, what's most important to me? Is it health? Is it happiness? Is it freedom? That is the feeling that you grab. Those are the thoughts that you think, and those are the words that you say. And this wealth example overflows over to health. You cannot cure a disease from the mindset, the lifestyle, the belief system that gave you the disease. You cannot change anything from the place that you attracted it from. In order to have your better health, your healing, your cure, you have to feel healed first. Feel that lab work normal. Feel your ideal weight. Walk around with a mojo. Feeling comfortable in your body. Feeling happy. Feeling well. You will then notice, in probably a very subtle way, how your actions are backing up your feelings and your words. If you notice your weight will increase, because what we focus on expands. If you notice that your clothes are tight too much, they'll get tighter. Walk around as if you are in the place you wish to be physically. You will notice that you feel light. You are light as a feather. It's because you have achieved that ideal. It is there energetically. And once it's there energetically, it shows up physically. So you will subtly notice that you're eating differently, that perhaps you're fasting more. Whatever is the appropriate path for you will start to come into place. Inspired action always comes about to help what you have asked for to occur. Let's roll it over to love. You can't be in a relationship where you're noticing everything wrong about your life or your partner, or you can't notice that a partner isn't there and attract your ideal love life. Remember, what you are focusing on expands. If someone's getting on your nerves, they're going to get on your nerves more. If you notice that someone's missing, it will expand. So here are two keys for two different situations. If you do not have a romantic partner at this time, or in a romantic relationship that is significant and fulfilling, you must feel that you are first. You must believe it is yours. And yes, you may talk. You have to talk like it is yours now. At least to yourself inside. Make room next to you when you sleep at night. Make room in the closet for someone else's clothes. Feel yourself living that ideal life, holding someone's hand. Feel confident. Feel the giddiness of it. Doing that every day when you least expect it, coming at you from behind, someone will arrive. In your current relationship, if it's wonderful, you count your blessings. You feel gratitude. Be in the moment of it. Allow it to thrive and to grow even better than where it is. But if you're in a relationship that isn't adding up to what you want, here's what you do first. You also count the blessings of it. You let go of the resentments, the past hurts. You don't bring up those past arguments. In the moment, feeling good about what is right, what you have, but a little off to the side, you know the qualities that you truly want. You know what you could have if you asked for it. But focusing on the moment of what you have with the person in front of you that is good, that is healthy, that is fulfilling. You see, if that relationship that you're currently in can be all that you would want it to be, all that you could ask for, the only way to get it is to be in the moment of gratitude of what you do love about it and what you do have and what is right. You cannot fix it from a place of seeing what is wrong with it. You can only fix it, if possible, by being in the moment of seeing what is right about it. Now, if that person's will is not meant to be what you are fully looking for, you will upgrade to what you are looking for, and that is a chance worth taking. It is a risk. We often stay in bad relationships because we have a fear that we'll be alone. We're comfortable in our discomfort. Have you been there? Many have been. You got to take the risk because you're worth it, but also because it's an error to believe that you won't get better if you focus and believe that you can have what you want. We're always in a natural state of growth, always under construction, always upgrading ourselves. There's not a person that loves you that's in heaven. There's not an angel or a spirit guide or God that would ask for you to be alone. But you have to know you deserve it to have that ideal relationship. So what cannot be fixed will be transformed and transitioned into upgrade. The risk is worth taking. Now, here is the key about feeling, thinking, and talking. There will be people around you that are not in a deliberate, creative place. And if you're walking around talking about your wealth or being in the ideal relationship or ideal health, they're going to want to tell you to live in, quote, reality. They'll be glad to do it. They'll remind you about your diagnosis. Or they'll try to talk you out of being really good to yourself. They are projecting onto you their own disbelief in their own creative abilities. They want you down in the trenches with them. Doesn't mean they're bad people. It's really natural. Not everyone yet has come to that full understanding of the ability to create our lives. But we're all getting there. We're all noticing. But there will be family and friends around you, and coworkers, perhaps, that will tell you that you've lost your ever-loving mind. And what about this? And what about that? It is imperative that you ignore them. Matter of fact, we are the company we keep. So if you have to distance yourself with ears, or even physically, individually, that may be the best thing to do. You call it. But do know it's bound to happen that you will have naysayers. So why are some people so very successful of drawing opportunities to themselves and making their lives so greater? Because they get around those blocks. Because they hear, but they don't listen to people that are their naysayers and aren't supportive. They love them, but they don't let them direct their lives. And also they work diligently, day to night. The wealthiest among us get up early. They get up early and they start right in on the visualizations, the meditations, the affirmations. They understand their power. They also take risks because they know they're going to be all right. They know they're going to make their lives better, even if they falter at times. Deliberate creation is a 24-hour-a-day job, because your subconscious tells you what's going on as well. But at least in your waking hour, it is so very important to feel what you want to have in your life. Feel what you want to have in your life. And you keep it up. You don't even have to speak it, by the way. If you feel it and you think it and you believe it, it's going to show up. That is how lottery winners win. That's how people have good luck as we know it. That's how things turn around for everyone. When I first heard about The Secret and read the book and watched the movie, I made a visualization board. And on the visualization board, I put down, at the time, 14 years ago, that I was being interviewed by a newspaper, that I was being asked to give public speaking talks. I completed the visualization board, and before the end of the day, out of nowhere, a reporter called my office. She called my office to ask me if I would please speak about the movie The Secret. My response was to tell her that I literally just completed a visualization board about an interview with a newspaper, and then she called. Her response was, "No way." I said, "Yes." Yes. It happened so quickly. And I was interviewed and featured with a couple of other self-employed spiritual people in the local newspaper. I also at the time not only had this on my visualization board about public speaking and teaching, but I would, on the way to work, to my office every day, give inspirational talks. I would do it in my car, and I would feel it. It was so real. Within a couple of days, I was contacted by a local facility to teach a class on The Secret to a bunch of seniors. And I did it. Afterwards, there were people working at the facility who came up to me and told me stories of how using the law of attraction had positively impacted their lives. They had acquired magically things that they needed, and things such as cars and other material items. That has happened for me as well. But it's not just about the material. Remember, it's about what do you want to feel the most? Freedom? Happiness? Feel that. Visualize having it, all the aspects of it, all the colors of it. If freedom means you are floating on a catamaran, see yourself, feel yourself doing it. If freedom means traveling somewhere, feel yourself, see yourself doing it. If it's just working on your own terms, feel yourself, seeing yourself doing it. There are people working from home now because they've always wanted to work from home. Feel yourself doing, believing, seeing what you love. And it will come into your physical environment. It has to. It's natural law. It's physics. It's energy. It's actual science. Actual science. Try it. But try it diligently. Try it as much as you can. Even if you do it a little bit, you will see change. First, you'll see change within yourself. Then you'll feel that something's coming. Then you'll see it with your actual eyes. Now, sometimes, very quickly, it looks like your world is falling apart. It's not all smooth and roses sometimes. It's doing the same thing. Stay with the ride. Because what falls apart and leaves you will be replaced with better. Just ride the ride. Fasten the seatbelt. Go along the bumps. Trust it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for getting through my voice, not quite being there with me. I had to talk in a certain way just to get it all out. You may have heard it was a little bit more of a tone difference. I know there was, but I love coming to you through a podcast. I love sitting here with my Sunday morning coffee, not quite ready for my public in every way, but still having a conversation with you. And I hope it helps. I hope it gave you an aha and a clarity, a reinforcement that maybe it hasn't in some time. I always welcome your feedback. Please feel free to email me at serenityharbor@verizon.net with a topic you'd like me to talk about or feedback on what you've heard today. And once again, please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. And if you are listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. I would appreciate it so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the weekend of gratitude. Gratitude is a way to deliberately create your life. Keep it going. Be grateful for what you have, those you love, and for all that you know is coming. It will work wonders for you. Thank you again, and many blessings. Take care.